Welcome everybody to my latest video. So for this video, I thought I'd show you guys how to connect an arcade button to power on and power off your Dell computer that you may be using for your MAME cabinet. Now the reason why I say this video is for Dell computer users, I've built a lot of MAME cabinets. For my own personal collection, I've had about 4 or 5 different MAME cabs. I've built MAME cabs just to turn around and sell to someone. I've helped friends build MAME cabinets. And there's one thing that I've noticed. I've had probably 3 or 4 different Dell computers, and the way the on and off button for a Dell computer is wired seems to be very different from all the other computers. Now, like I said, I must have dealt with probably about I'd say about 15 different computers when making MAME cabinets, whether for myself or someone else. Now, all of them, the wiring for the on and off button was pretty simple. It was basically just 2 wires that are right behind the button. However, I've dealt with 3 or 4 Dell computers and I've run into the same problem concerning the on and off button. And it's basically wired very, very differently. So this is just basically a video of me, showing you what to do. It's based on my own experience. Your computer may be different. This may not work for your computer, but if it does, great. So here I got my computer, which is for my MAME cabinet that I'm working on right now. And as you can see, once you get the protective casing off the tower and once you remove half the tower, this is basically what you're left with. You got the motherboard, video cards, a power supply, fan, hard drive, wiring, etc., etc. Now me, when I like to work on MAME computers, I like to leave at least half the tower attached with all the stuff in it. That's just me. Some people like to take everything out and screw it into the side of the arcade cabinet. Me, I just like to have everything all right here and ready, and I actually screw it down to the floor of the cabinet. And then if I don't need it anymore, it's all together. I just remove a couple of screws and take the whole thing out. So anyways, back to the on-off switch. Now for the Dell computer, again, this might not work for yours, but this is a Dell Optiplex, I believe. Completely out of date by now. I think it was probably top of the line probably about 8 years ago. So anyways, once you remove the casing and once you get to the on and off button, you'll see that the on and off button is basically attached to a little board like this. It's probably about 2/3 the size of this board. Unfortunately, I don't have it anymore because I threw it out as I had no need for it. But you basically got this ribbon cable, that's what I call it. It's attached to the main board. The big ribbon cable gets attached to another board, and from this board you get a smaller board or a smaller ribbon cable, which gets connected to another small board like this. And on that board, you'll actually have the button soldered into the board to turn the computer on and off. So, how do you go about attaching an arcade button? Well, this is what you do. You take the ribbon cable that's attached to the first small board and you go ahead and cut it. Now, you don't need that part anymore, and this is basically what you're left with. Okay? You can see the motherboard, big ribbon cable, smaller board, smaller ribbon cable. Now, what you want to do, hopefully you can focus in. This ribbon cable is, I believe, it's basically 16 different wires that are that have a protective casing on them. And the good thing about this is they're very easy to pull apart. So you got your cable right here. What you want to do is take the first cable on each side and pull it away. Okay, you don't need that cable anymore. In fact, this is it right here. So the first cable, the first wire on each side of this ribbon, go ahead and pull away. Pull it down about 2 inches or so. You don't need it. Now, You then take the next cable on each side of this ribbon, pull it away, and strip away some of the protective coating on it. And what that's going to do is these two wires are the ones you're going to need to turn your computer on and off. So it's basically the second wire on the inside of each side of the smaller ribbon cable. So all you do, pull away some of the protective coating, attach some of your regular arcade wires to it, and remember, if you've been watching my videos, I always tell you, keep a spare JAMA harness. You can always use it for parts. So that's all I did. I pulled some wiring from the harness. I cut and splice it to these two wires. And basically, you hook those wires up to a push button. So let me go ahead and plug this in and let's see if it works. Okay, I got my computer plugged in. Got my push button all wired up. So let's see if it turns it on. And there you go. You can see it's powering on, and you can probably hear it too. That's the fan that you hear. So it's very, very simple. So obviously I don't have this hooked up to a monitor right now, but you know, basically it turns on, it'll go and it'll boot up. You know, you really don't need to have your CD or DVD drives attached anymore. You know, you can see all I have is the hard drive attached, and that's about it. And let's see if it powers off. And there you go. Powered off. That light will disappear pretty soon. So very easy, nice, and simple. That's the best way to turn your computer on and off. Let's try it again. So there you go. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Feel free to send me a message. But like I said, it's pretty simple. Once again, you'll see that this wire is attached to a board about 2/3 this size. That board will be the on and off button for your computer. Snip away the ribbon cable. You don't need the smaller board. Then you got the ribbon cable, the two cables on the outside. Go ahead and pull those back. Then the next cable on the outside of each side, pull those back. Strip them, splice them with some regular spare wire from your harness, and attach it to a button. That's all there is to it. Until next time.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.